Hey there, I'm Patrick Franco, and today we're going to look at Supta Baddha Konasana, which you might know as Reclined Bound Angle Pose. This is a restorative pose. It's a pose in which we're lying on our back, but we also get this nice deep stretch through our inner thighs and our chest. Now, it being a restorative pose, we know that energetically it's calming and it's quieting for the nervous system, which is excellent because you'll see this pose more towards the end of class on the way towards Shavasana. Now there's a couple ways to do this shape, but we're gonna start with a simple version, and the simple version meaning no props whatsoever. And then we'll look at adding in some props and talk about what those props do to enhance the shape. But let's just go ahead and lie down on our back to start. When you lie down on your back, we'll start with the knees bent, the face parallel to the ceiling. So if your chin is tilting towards your forehead, you might just lengthen the back of your head and neck. And then step your feet together with your knees facing the ceiling, and then you'll let your knees drop out to the side. Now the soles of my feet still stay together, and I do not have any support. So one of the drawbacks of this bare bones version is that it might be too much pressure on your glutes, your outer thighs, as well as your groins. But if you're in a situation where you don't have props, it could still be helpful. The next thing about this shape, once you get the legs there, is you want to open up your chest. So you can grab the sides of your mat, and without lifting your buttocks, you're going to pull the mat towards your feet, and that tractions your low back. So I'm going to tug the mat towards my feet, and it pulls the skin of my buttocks and upper back down so that the front of my abdomen and chest can open more fully. And then you can rest your hands by your sides, palms facing the ceiling. And again, this is nice depending on how flexible you are in your inner thighs and outer legs and hips. So we'll come up. And now we'll look at a version that really uses the yoga props. And I'm going to show you a full version of yoga props, and note that you can use any specific part of this prop setup. Maybe it's just the bolster, maybe it's the blanket in the bolster, or maybe it's the 3 blankets in the bolster, which we're going to look at now. So this is my preferred version, and mainly because it's fully supported. So I have a bolster here, and I'm going to lie the bolster down like that. This is important, the size of your bolster. So my bolster is, I would think, would be considered a somewhat flat bolster. If you're working with a bolster that is much higher and rounder than this, know that it's going to exacerbate the curve in your low back or lumbar spine. And that might not be appropriate for someone who has low back pain to start with. So the height of the bolster is important. So mine is kind of flat, which is probably the preferred size of a bolster, unless you're a very big backbender. All right, so we have this. Then I'm going to take one of my blankets and I'm going to fold it in half. And this is going to be a pillow for my head. If you remember the first version we did, and I lengthened the back of my head, well, the blanket is going to enhance this position of the chin moving towards the chest, which enhances the restorative or quieting aspects of this pose. Now with my other 2 blankets, I'm just going to create little log rolls. And you do want to make sure that you have 2 blankets the same size so that both legs will be supported evenly. If you don't have blankets, you can use blocks in its place. All right, so I'll take these 2 blanket rolls and I'm going to lay them on either side. Now, I'm going to sit in front of the bolster where my buttocks touches the bolster with my knees bent. Before I lie back, I'm going to press the bolster down and I'm going to move my buttocks forward about 3 or 4 inches. That's it. That way, when I lie down, my low back isn't being pushed into my abdomen and towards the ceiling. If you were to lie back with your buttocks touching the bolster, your abdomen is going to be pushed up the whole time and it's not going to be very relaxing. So this is very important if you're using the bolster to move forward a few inches and then lie back. Once you lie back, the first thing you can do is slide the blanket under your head completely. And now my face is parallel to the ceiling with my chin towards my chest. Then I have these two logs. The soles of my feet come together. I let my legs relax out to the side. And the log rolls support my lower leg, which is below my knee, and my upper leg, which is above my knee. And I have full support of my legs now. And then my hands can rest by my side. The one thing that the bolster does do is that it makes this shape a bigger back bend. So all the muscles of my chest and abdomen are getting opened with the lift of the bolster. And my inner thighs and outer legs, with the support of the blankets, don't get overstretched. They can fully relax and be held by the blankets underneath. This is a pose you really want to be able to stay in 3 minutes minimum, and it can go as long as 10 to 12 minutes. All right, to come out, we can take our knees together, and then you just roll to one side, rest on your arm, and then use your hands to come on up to sit. So there you have it, Supta Baddha Konasana, supported bound angle pose. It's a restorative pose. You'll see towards the end of class. It's a great pose that is deeply nourishing and quieting for your nervous system. All right, we'll see you on the mat again next time.